Hey guys, this is Juno and welcome back to a Summoner's War video. So I've gotten into G1 and I haven't actually recorded me playing these games because I have to tell you, sorry first, because I've totally changed my box. I was not happy with the playstyle that I was going with, so I re-runed my box again. Certain units stayed the same, but I changed my priority units. And eventually that led to me playing a different playstyle. And with that, I was able to get into G1 against certain comps that I was having a hard time with, especially the second turn tanky comps. So as you see on the screen, there's 2 Robos and a Varad. That's essentially it. I started using my 2 Robos. I'll show you guys the runes and then let's watch some of the battles that I've done getting up to this point, because it was actually very satisfying. The wins, if I do win, are extremely convincing. My losses are totally on me or just my rune quality itself. Not a lot due to the violent proc crap, but those still happen. However, it is not as stressful because the second turn battles, like I said, I am praying for procs, and I've been saying this time to time, it is not the right way to play that way. Let's first check out the runes because I'm pretty sure you guys are interested. Now, it doesn't mean my previous videos, the videos that I put out in the beginning, are wrong in any way. I just tried runing certain units a certain way, but it just didn't work out. And thankfully, because it is still very early in the season, you are okay in doing that. It's a testing period till you fight the right playstyle. I tried my playstyle that was very similar to last season. I just didn't see success as much as I used to. Reason why I switched it up. So that's why it's very important, especially during these RTA seasons when there is a meta change. Last season, I took advantage of Kinky Camilla a lot, and it really carried me into Guardian easily early season. The meta shifted in between because Kinky got nerfed, and after that I struggled. Although I did switch it up a little, I still struggled in the G1 area. I sneaked into G2, but eventually ended pretty low G1, I believe. Yeah, rate 2400. This season, I tried that again, the second turn combo with Wedgeat. It didn't work out. I switched it up and I'm seeing a little more success. So I'm going to see how far I could get with this. The wins are a lot more convincing. I am tempted to farm more Swift and Despair runes. Let's see how things go. So the first unit is Wedgeat, and you guys already know their build of it, so nothing changed. But then my number 2 unit that I pull out a lot is my Robo F29, the Dark Robo. I think nobody memorizes the Dark Robo's name, although like Sagar, Cassandra, those names are memorable. But for Robo, it's just Dark Robo or Wind Robo, right? I don't know why it's Dark Robo and it's not Yellow Robo. Just noticed. Anyhow. So it got the faster Despair set. The tankiness is pretty similar to what it was before, but with approximately 8 to 10 more speed. Max accuracy, Despair Will, I think it was on Despair Will before too, and all additional damage. I really need improvement with this because the defense, yes, it does help as it does have at least a high enough defense, but because the base defense is so low, I'm not really taking advantage of all the defensive substats. I really should get something that has high HP and high attack, as he is an attack type, so he will benefit from that more. Second is Robo, so I gave Robo a faster rune set that's on Will, but still not very fast because my Swift runes suck. Even using the optimizer when I needed all these stats, it was very low, and subsequently, the other Swift sets went on to these 3, so they're around the same speed. So my Robo really didn't get a speed improvement for some reasons. To get like these certain stats, like the max accuracy, I couldn't sacrifice certain runes, resulting in it having similar speed, but it did get tankier. So that's a plus. Again, additional damage stuff, I do need a better artifact here because I need that additional line. And this one as well, I need that additional line. And again, is another one with high defense percent, which I don't want. This one, I should also take advantage of attack. And really, stacking attack on these Robos are really good since a common counter is going to be a Douglas. My popular second pick still is Sagar. I still do pick the same Sagar. The runes haven't changed. So my first pick is Wedget Sagar all the time. And my third pick is Dark Robo. We'll see that as we go on. Now, so I didn't want the opponent to counter me too easily simply with a Douglas pick. So I like to incorporate a water damage dealer in between. One being Jongnam, which also has a stun plus freeze, violent will. So it's newly runed. I actually didn't use him often. When I used him once, I believe, when I tried to climb to G1, I lost. I lost. So I didn't really bring it out too much after that. I still have to think of when is a good time. Instead, the more famous pick or popular pick that I pick out these days is the Varad. And this has been doing wonders for me. He's on a crit rate build, high defense, decently fast, getting more defense up effect because there's a good chance it's paired with the Wedget. And even when it's not, it's really hard for the opponent, unless they have like Fang or something, to have higher defense than the Varad, which I believe is the condition, or half or less. So 2100, so I guess at least 1000. That's not too hard, to be fair, but because we have the crit rate, unless we glance, we should get the pushback plus freeze if we're lucky enough. Another one that I runed up to counter those fire damage dealers is the Lizelle. And I did use this against Sean B. I met Sean B recently, and I actually saw his live replay because he was streaming at that time, and he was very surprised when I brought out the Lizelle. It worked really well, the pushback, decent accuracy, well, not decent, 45, some will argue that's not good enough, but I am getting more here on skill 3, 11%, more additional damage on everything. I think these artifacts are actually very decent with a lot of additional speed, attack, fits really well with the Lizelle. And surprisingly, this is the unit that gets banned a lot if the opponent does bring out a fire damage dealer, because I guess the defense break is actually too detrimental for their team. I also still use the Cassandra on the same build. I brought it out multiple times because one-shot potential is very scary for the opponent. Heigang is changed because the fastest Despair Rune is now on the Robo, still decently fast, and I believe faster or close. Yeah, I think it'll still go in front of this Sagar, I hope. Still very high on defense, so Sonia's can't ignore defense. You could tell that my most picked are up here, I guess up to this point, and then bottom are less picked because I am trying to play one certain comp. I should adapt more, but I'm in the learning process because it's my first time actively picking out the two Robos. Let's go check out the few battles that brought me to G1 and tell me what you guys think. So I think this was a good battle where all of my Robos survived in the pick and ban. This was a very interesting player. He was very unconventional, so I think he enjoys the game. I actually respect people like this, although the last pick was a clear counter, so I definitely banned that out. He banned the Varad. So his Omdo was just not fast enough to cut. So we were able to get the freeze, or sorry, the stun after the strip. And after this point, it was like pure control because my Sagar gets to move as well. Now, I wanted a defense break, so that's why I didn't use skill 3, and everybody was stunned at that point. He did get a resist there, so he will get to move and use skill 2, which put a seal and a stun. So his Gyu wanted to do things, but I just ignored the fact he had that up, the suppress, because I believed that after one more round of turns, the game was going to be over, as you can tell from the health bars. So he put that on the Wind Robo again, but like I said, I just didn't care. I just used it because I knew after this turn it was going to be over. This one, if I was recording this, I would have been cursing out in the video. This one was so bad. I was so mad. It could have been... I should have actually picked Lizelle here. Let's see what happens. Just see what happens. It throws me off so much. So we get no absorption there. There's one stun. It throws me off. I don't know how we can miss that pushback on this Masha. I just couldn't believe that we missed it. We have like 70% accuracy on skill 3. And come on, we know that this Masha is not on 100 res. Or close to that even. We missed it again. Look at the resistance. I mean, she had will there. So let's give her that. Or maybe she had will the first time too. Maybe she had will the first time too. But another stun from the Juno. Maybe it was this one where the Masha went crazy. Look, she's gonna proc right here. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that crazy unit. Look at that crazy unit. And did I proc? I actually didn't count procking because obviously I was in the losing situation. But that felt bad. That felt bad. Okay, now going back to the winning games, because again, when we win, it's very convincing. There was this one where now I'm very happy that I could deal with these teams a lot better. Because when I was playing a second turn team, I wouldn't have been confident enough to contest speed against these teams. And I'll also be scared of these like Verads, this Vertigo and stuff. But knowing that the Tiana has very bad base speed, and that Dark Robo is a very good counter against the Verd as well, I was kind of confident, although it didn't really counter here. So it looks like we're in a losing state, but we're really not. Because Verad isn't being touched, and now we could get infinite control really. We could get stuns, we could get freezes. Another snowstorm. So 2-turn freeze is detrimental against these units. 2-turn on the Kinky is huge for us. And then goes again. We didn't get the stun on Verd, but we get the pushback. He didn't revenge. And now we don't even care if he revenges actually, because it doesn't matter if they take a turn. They just don't have the damage to kill us. Pretty convincing there. Even after Sierra died, Sierra was just a speed lead that we needed. Another one. I thought it was the same player because they went with the same 2 picks. So I picked Wedge, I believe it was... Yeah, see? It was a Nephthys Tiana, but it was a different Chinese player. But we were the same picks. He was more contesting speed. We took Leo for the Sonya. We banned the speed lead again because he only had 1 speed lead. So how can we take second turn? We go first, and after that, it was just unlimited control. Like that. And he left. He left. I actually thought that because we got no stuns anywhere, he had a chance, but he didn't want to go with it. Another player that resulted in going second turn after our full picks. It's funny how a lot of these players don't pick a second speed lead because we have the last pick. So they kind of gambled, but we went with Hagang here because Hagang is a very good counter against these like strip first turn. Look at this, boom, boom, that strip. So Hagang wakes him up. We failed to get the stupid reset. But because we have Hagang, I'm not too scared. It does get pretty close though, because then this girl is a menace. You can't stun the light Eivor, so I didn't even try for that. I didn't think that would do so much damage. So one person's gonna die here. And it was a Dark Robo, which was totally fine. We're just killing the Adriana. Because Adriana has the heals, and we didn't want that to happen. So she had skill 2, but she has glancing, which is something that I was betting on. And I believe Hagang will beat the Cassandra 1v1, to be fair. He didn't use it because he had glancing, which I think that was the wrong choice. He should have taken his chance. Another type of team that went full on second turn after its first pick. So you could tell they're going second turn by a Miles or Cooney pick, right? I mean, it could be a first turn, but really it's not as strong as a first turn if you pick this in the second and third pick. So he eventually went second turn, trying to counter our Robo with the Verd, which failed because we have anti-crit buff. He got it there though. But the pushback allowed my Rad to move. Nice resist on the Verd. He gets a counter again. Failed again. No glancing, but it was just a crit resist buff, and it only worked on the Dark unit, which is kind of funny. 2-turn freeze was detrimental on that Raccoon. If that Raccoon actually woke up, who knows, something could have changed. And the final game, these were the type of teams I hated the most. I always lost to these Japanese players, or this, well, I guess this is a Chinese player, but Japanese players play this type of playstyle, which is very tanky, you know, the Curry SW stuff. So I had a very hard time with my regular team comp because we lack strippers. But this, if we strip once, it's like they never take a turn. It's very convincing. Josephine tried to do stuff, but it didn't work out. So Josephine does get the optimal result here. He got the provoke there, but we got the stun with the Dark Robo, which is why Dark Robo is so good on Despair. I don't think I'll ever go Swift on him, but I have seen people go on Swift to throw people off. I understand. But I think Despair is the way to go for me. And we just have to control this girl. Oh, who knows? Maybe this guy could be on Violent too, but he didn't proc. And after that, I think they just never took a turn where they were able to proc. So I think Violent procs, the best counter is just to not allow them to take a turn. So because if they don't take a turn, they can't proc, which effectively happened in this battle. So you can see there's 2-turn freezes everywhere, here. So even after 1 turn, they're not going to move. That's why I think Varad is just so strong in this team comp. Obviously, if the opponent is fast enough, you have to kind of pivot, you know, like Hegang or something, or even like Omdua, which I did play with on someone else's account that has a very similar box to me, and it worked extremely well. So I think I'm going to be ruining Omdua with my last, probably laying around fast Despair set, probably around the 260 range. See how that goes. But with that, we were able to very convincingly win that game and get into G1. I want to see how well it works in this level too. Anyhow, it took me 180 games to get into G1 this time, which took a lot longer than last season. I think it took like 70 games to get into G1 last time. But this season we know is much harder because the Nana skin is more desirable as it's very pretty in picture. So let's see how things go. I hope I end G1 to get at least 2 Nana skins. I will take the P3 as well, but I really want that G1. Knowing that G1 is now going to be less of a competitive rank, I think if we get in a safe spot before like a week, we'll be good to go.